See, this is, folks, this is the real deal. This is the biggest secret. And there is nothing more tragic than someone who thinks she or he is not programmed, but who is exhibiting and acting 1,000% in perfect configuration with what a programmed operation does. When that happens, you have to think programming. And these people, again, can be the nicest people on the planet one minute and turn into a raging lunatic the next and go into some confrontational mind game the next. They have it all. They understand how to use reverse psychology. They understand how to project everything on someone else. They understand the idea of projecting their own sicknesses and weaknesses like psychopathy and sociopathy onto other people and try to make it stick. It's called misdirection. They are the masters of misdirection. That's part of being a mind-controlled, guided missile, an assassin, an operative, whatever you want to call it. They are here, they are amongst us, and they can be your next-door neighbor. They can even be your wife. We'll be right back. Okay, back with Rest is Darn. We're talking about mind-controlled, ritual, satanic, sexual abuse tools, people whose insides have been literally gutted from them. Pieces remain. Where those pieces are at any given time of the day is anybody's guess. Depends upon their programming and what they're sent off to do. Some are never programmed. Some are just left to their own, and they, in many cases, kill themselves. Suicide. Some are programmed to be mass shooters. You've done a lot of work on shooters lately. Russ, tell us more about that, please.
Well, we begin to find that the subparts, all of them have, they've been trained, they've been programmed, they've been empowered. So, we've been through a whole litany of dealing with separate kinds. Priestesses that know ancient arts and twilight languages and summoning of demons. Sex slaves that know how to use that to compromise and transfer demonic stuff. All kinds of personalities.
It's called honey traps.
Well, exactly, yeah.
So, what you're saying is, honey traps can actually do more than dispense sexual favors. They can use that as a vector to infect the target with some of this very evil you're talking about.
Exactly. And then within them, and these are all personalities that, we can all say we've read about them, things like that, but we've engaged them for years and years to talk, to engage, to help, and to bring healing to them too, to the person. But sitting in a car one night, late night, this person next to me switches personalities. They reach into a bag and pull out a 9mm. Now this is someone who said simply their name was Assassin. So I talked to this one. This is in the 90s, Jeff. I talked to this one for quite a while, and they even handed me their weapon. They wanted me to see it. And so when they gave it to me, I had to be, I'm like praying, should I give this back or not? I did give it back. They did not shoot me, but they were surprised that I didn't shoot them because, and this is what they said to me directly. They, referring to handlers, said that if I would give you this gun, you would shoot me. Now, this is what showed that personality in their, because programming means they're on a specific loop. They've only been injected with one concept, one mind, one thought. But in engaging them in discussion begins to help break that down.
Uh-huh.
But the shooter, assassin, programmed subpersonality, they are experts in weapons, whereas the main person may not know a thing.
Now, let's go back to one other area. The target, the programmed, that person who has been through satanic ritual sex abuse, a horrific experience as a child, and has multiple personalities, will never know that they are under control unless somehow the controllers want them to, tell them, let it slip. But there used to be markers. Oh, missing time was a big marker. But as we said earlier, that's history. They don't use that technique anymore all the time. It's far beyond that.
Correct. And I say this because we began to work with the first generation. And here's where, again, the psychological community, those who are out there helping, everybody wants to help them, and that's a great thing because there's so many. But here's looking now at the stats, Jeff, the first generation are between 55, 65. They all had children, and here's what we found over the years. Second generation, third generation, and now we're dealing with, if there's no interruption, this continues, it's automatic to the next generation and their children, and it's done to them. And it's getting
so
more
it's multi-generational. They stay right in there like a bloodline. They continue to do this to each new generation. That's what you're saying.
It is bloodline. I mean, to hear all of them, and we've had well over 300, and we're talking thousands of hours of communication and time spent in almost 30 years.
Wow.
So we have a lot of time on the field. I've had one here at my home a week ago, and we have someone we're supposed to call late night tonight on the West Coast and to deal with them. So, and we have requests left and right. So there are those who are breaking down and beginning to find out or beginning to realize something. And if they get the right counselor, they get the right person, engagement can occur and changes and healing and being set free can occur.
Deprogramming.
But sure, it does involve that. And in our case, and again, in almost all of the cases, whether people call it, now some will say they have empowerment or they have energy. We engaged the entities, and they're very, very powerful. For example, they split a new personality. They call it raw personality, blank personality, in which they begin to program, speak to, train. Then they want to summon in the satanic side of it. They want to summon spirits to put in and on to kind of crystallize that programming and have that dark spirit then bind that whole plot and purpose together. That's why when they switch personalities, they can kill seemingly without conscious, seemingly reveling in it, in total destruction with no sense of remorse, no sense of, in other words, the only way we've found to stop them when they've switched like this, they're, all of a sudden attacking, we have to physically bring them down. And that's what they're finding with some of the shooters.
So there is possession. There is and are entities put into these people that they never are aware of. That's amazing.
That's the design of it. That's why it goes back to the dark side. That whole development of the dark side.
Of course it does. And what do these people do? If they're even remotely close to the programming, they begin to target those around them and project on those people around them that which they themselves are laboring under and compromised by. It's called reverse projection, defensive projection. They do it all the time.
They do, and you can see them. I mean, we've engaged them in our tracking. They've been purposely placed in churches, counseling centers, law enforcement, military, governmental structures. And usually, what I tell folks now is that if you have somebody that has come to you, like out of nowhere, they've just kind of shown up, please understand that you've already been targeted. They've been sent. They have a sender or a group that have sent them in. They've got an agenda.
Okay, so if somebody were to contact me out of the blue, and I would find that person to be the most wonderful person I could ever imagine, I should beware.
If you begin to see other things occur, sure, because the upfront person is made to be completely amnesic and very, there's methodology. We put a thing out years ago on the methods of the infiltration, which is, part of it is they want to assimilate, they want to become your friend, they want to like what you like, they want to give you gifts, they want to compliment you, they're building a connection to the point of vulnerability. All the while they're taking information, gathering information. And then in most of the cases that we dealt with on this level, then they are targeting through what, most even Christians don't even understand, ritual warfare, the summoning of spirits to send them from distance or transmit them.
They want to take your soul. They want to control everything about you. It's all about control and takedown, isn't it?
Absolutely. And that's the nature of this radical evil. It's really, I mean, it's, engaging the individual personalities, engaging the ones that are demonized, engaging the demonic spirit. This is not random. Over the years, we have seen again and again, as we've dug really deep inside, that whether we believe this or not, they believe they're part of a new agenda. Collectively, because they're in Ireland, they're in England, they're in Germany, they're in Canada, they're in Australia. So I keep asking everybody, why so many? Why in all those nations? Why generations now of them? And why the hiddenness for now, in a sense, but yet underneath this volatile, violent, and highly trained ability to create the killings, the chaos, the slaughters. Well, Jeff, they say there's an agenda, that they're part of the coming chaos, and they all lust or desire a new order altogether. That's what they're about. They
want abject control. It's all about control. That's what they want. I see it. All right, hold on, Russ. We'll come right back. Fascinating conversation. Thank you very much for being here tonight. We'll be right back. Okay, we're back with ritual satanic abuse and multiple personality disorder expert Russ Dizdar. Please click on Russ's name. Go to his website. It is full of very